Chipotle is out with a strong first quarter earnings report, and the fast casual chain also says the second quarter started off very well. Joining us now is Chipotle CFO Jack Hartung to dig into the earnings. Jack, great to see you here. Let's start on inflation. It was a big topic on the earnings call last night. Have you seen any signs that inflation is starting to ease over at Chipotle?
Yeah, Brian, inflation is real. I mean, it's been happening for several months now, and and we don't see any signs that it's going to retreat, or go down in the future. We have seen a month now, a month and a half, call it, of stable pricing. That's not enough to call it a pattern. It's not enough to say inflation is over, but it's been nice after seeing, several months of inflation on most of our ingredients to see a little bit of a pause. And, hopefully this pause will turn into more stable prices going forward, but it's hard to predict right now.
Pause is certainly good to hear. When you break it down in terms of line item, where is the biggest inflation? Is it an ingredient like avocados, or is it on labor?
Labor, the inflation on labor really hit us mostly in the second quarter of last year, and that's when we took a significant increase in wages. We increased wages 15%. That was to get our average minimum wage to $15. Since then, I would say labor has normalized. It doesn't mean inflation went away, but it's been normal step-ups since then. From an ingredient standpoint, it's been most of our major ingredients. If you look at it year over year, beef has gone up, tortillas has gone up because of higher costs of wheat, avocados have gone up as well. Of course, fuel prices have gone up. So when you're talking about freight or distribution to get ingredients into our restaurant, all those are under pressure.
Hey, Jack, it's Julie here. I know that the analyst commentary I was looking at, people were reassured by your margin forecast for the current quarter, even if they were a little disappointed by the margins last quarter. I'm curious where you feel like you are in terms of raising prices as you react to inflation. That is it reactive? Are you sort of chasing it? Or do you feel like you're able to get out ahead of it at this point?
Yeah, we don't really want to get out ahead of it per se. We're a company-owned organization. We don't have any debt. So we don't feel a financial pressure to have to raise prices ahead of inflation. But when inflation happens, and when it's happened, we talk to our suppliers and we look at the forecast. We don't see any signs that there's going to be a retreat. We don't see any signs that inflation, in beef or, avocados or our tortillas or fuel is going to change, in the other direction meaningfully. So with that in mind, when we see inflation that hits us and looks like it's going to stick for a while, we don't want to fall behind on pricing either. So we did raise prices a bit at the end of March, and that's going to just at least protect our margins. We're not trying to make additional money off of inflation. We're just trying to protect our margin, keep our economic model in good shape.
Jack, how are sales doing in April?
Yeah, they're doing great, Brian. I mean, what's happening is we're seeing, kind of this shift as people, again, with Omicron behind us and with the weather warming up, that customers really want to get out and about. And digital has been great, where we've held on to about 43% of our sales, is still through the digital channel. But our in-restaurant channel in the first quarter grew 33%. And we're seeing as the weather continues to improve, and once we move past Easter, we see another increase in customer visits into our restaurants. And so the traffic's been great.
And Jack, I know we've talked about this before, but do you see any kind of trade down effect? People buying different proteins, for example, in their bowls as they're sort of reacting to inflation, not just at Chipotle, but everywhere?
We don't, Julie. We don't have a lot of room for our customers to trade down. We don't have like a small burrito, but we also don't see people trading from steak down to chicken. Try to talk somebody who comes into Chipotle and loves a steak burrito or a steak bowl to try to get another ingredient. Our customers really love their go-to entree. They love guacamole, and so our guacamole attachment rate is still above 50%. And so when our customers come in for a Chipotle meal, they want the chicken or the steak that they always get. They want the guacamole with the chips. And so we're not seeing any trade down at all.
Or like me, Jack, you just get both. You put it in a bowl and you just enjoy your dinner, lunch, and in some cases breakfast. Let me ask you this lastly. Since we last spoke, you debuted a robot called Chippy. And I was tweeting this and folks are making fun of me. But you're now going to install Chippy the robot in one of your Southern California restaurants, I guess, to make chips. But are there other areas you're looking at that you could bring robots into these restaurants where it makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Chippy is pretty exciting. It's we've had it in our culinary environment, our culinary kitchen to test it and make sure that the chips that come from Chippy are delicious. We're not going to try it in a restaurant where our crews and managers have a chance to try it. Our approach, Brian, is going to be to look at areas where it's a very repetitive task, a task that our crew don't love doing. And so we can automate that and really enhance the experience that our crews have. We're going to do it in a way, though, where the culinary is as good, if not better, than if we do it by hand. It'd be easier, for example, Brian, to just have our chips made off premise and then brought in bags. We're not going to do that. We're still going to make our chips fresh every single day. And really with Chippy, not only can we make it fresh during the day in the morning, which is what we do today, we have the opportunity to make it, make them fresh throughout the day as well. So we're looking to enhance culinary and enhance the experience of our customers, make sure our food, tastes, if anything, as good, if not better. And there's other opportunities. For example, dishwashing is not a job that our crews like to do either. It's very hot. It's kind of messy. There are things like that when we talk to our crews when they say, "Boy, it'd be great if I could spend less time or no time at all on these tasks." Those are the tasks.
Jack, that would be Dishy. That would be Dishy the robot.
I love the name. Is that trademarked?
Not yet.
Dishy and Chippy the robots. I love these names. It's definitely very, very catchy for sure. Jack,
I think with the rhymes, there might be a song. There might be a rap song coming.
Oh, I look forward to that. We'll wait for the TikTok drop. All right.